In this lesson, we're going to learn the twin knife hand block in L stance. So, twin forearm block was like this, making an X and then bringing this hand out like an outward forearm side block, and this one up sort of like a high block. Twin knife hand block, we're going to make the same X, but with the hands open. And we're going to come up just like this. So both hands open. So they're in the same position that they were in the last time, but now they're open instead of in a fist. And again, I can explain reasons for that. I have application videos that show why we might do this instead of with closed fists. Comes down to applications, how the technique is actually used. So I have videos on that if you're interested in seeing, but we can do a few different things from here than what we could do from here. And it involves some potential grappling techniques as well. So for now, it's enough just to know twin knife hand block, that it is performed exactly the same way as you did twin forearm block previously, but with the hands open. So you can think of it as you're blocking using the knife hand instead of using the arms like we were doing before. Now we're blocking with the knife hand and doing damage. There's also an application where we can grab and trap the incoming arm and use this hand here to control the other fist, and then we would move into a grapple and we can go for a submission there. So there's an advanced application to it as well, what you can do where you actually can tie your opponent up using this technique. And if you look at my application videos, I have a video where I'm demonstrating that with my dad. So, but again, anytime we're blocking with the knife hand, the primary reason why we're doing that is we want to do damage to the attacking limb. So instead of just being satisfied to block it, now we're actually striking it with the knife hand when we come up. Good, looking from the side. So again, twin knife hand block in L stance. Sometimes also called box block because of the shape, but we use the term twin knife hand block. And the same things apply with this block as with the forearm version. So you want to make sure, don't let this front hand start dropping too much, or you're not protecting anything in front. So that front hand has to be up. The second thing is, this hand here, don't let it start falling too far back, or you're going to be exposed. Or if it goes too far forward, you're going to be exposed, again behind it. If the block is set too high, like this, somebody's going to come through underneath it. And once again, you're exposed. And if this hand is sitting too low, somebody's going to come over top of that, they're going to hit you, you're going to be exposed again. So it's very important that you set this block, both arms, in the correct position so that you're not open, right? In some applications, this is used as a block against two different attackers. So if you had somebody in front of you and somebody coming from the side, you can potentially ward off two attackers at the same time that are doing some kind of a coordinated attack. Okay? So there are a lot of different reasons why we have this, but it's very important more important right now when you're learning the technique is getting the technique right. Not worrying about every application that it's used for, but learn how to set the arms properly and protect yourself with this block so that you have a functioning block. That's most important. A lot of the details when it comes to the application of techniques, a lot of that stuff we don't actually teach until black belt level, because we want students to learn the techniques first and foremost and learn them well to be able to do them without even having to think of them. And then once you get to a level where you are capable of teaching other students, which usually starts at about first degree black belt level, sometimes a little bit sooner, then as soon as you start teaching the lower belts, now we can start explaining why you're doing this particular technique and what it's used for, and we can get into the nitty-gritty details of why you're doing what you're doing. We can give you the why behind it. But when you're first learning the techniques, color belt, white belt, yellow belt, green belt, blue belt, red belt, your focus is on learning the techniques. You have to be able to learn the techniques first, and then we can broaden your mind later about what everything is for and how it's used specifically. So that is twin knife hand block in an L stance.